You don't give up.
No, I shouldn't. I mean, I want to be known as the one who stood up for what is right in Ghana. And if it leaves me alone in that standing, I would do so. I want to die on principle and push for things to be done properly in our country. And if it comes at a political cost, it doesn't matter.
And in a sense, you are condemned to Ghana and MPP. You love the country, you love the party. So
that's right.
At every point in time, you have to stand up for either of the two.
We have to. I mean, it's important that we recognize that political parties are vehicles to run the country, to develop the country. I mean, the centerpiece of politics is the welfare of the ordinary person, especially the underprivileged. So the values that we need to have as politicians have to change. One, you have to be public-spirited. It means you should be prepared to serve without expecting anything in return. You should be able to sacrifice at cost to yourself. And some of us have done so many years ago when it was life-threatening to be identified with this political tradition. And then also being selfless, having empathy. That, for me, is important. Those are the traits that I want to see in the new politician. I think it's time for us now to recalibrate the way we see politics, and that it is not a piece of cake to be shared by politicians and their cronies and their party, and that when you are elected as president, you are president of everybody.
Okay.
And of course, we all know that when you have your party in power, yeah, there are a few things, goodies that you get along the way. That is acceptable and understandable. But if you look at where we are as a country, I mean, I think the country stands in urgent need of healing from this strident polarization and divisiveness. You know? And that is not helpful, because one of my 6-point plan is to restore meritocracy and professionalism back to the public services. And I think presidents after presidents have sometimes tinkered far too much with our public services and over-politicized it. And I'm a bit more disappointed in the current president, the way he dealt with the army, which I felt was touching a very vital state institution. And was it President Obama who came in and said we need to build strong institutions, not individuals? And so I feel very uncomfortable when I see presidents tinker with state institutions. Not only that, moved on to the judiciary, which is one of the 3 legs of our democracy. And I think that the idea that one leg of democracy can take over the other is something that all of us have to repudiate and find a way to protect. Because whilst every 4 years, the president has to go to the people for a mandate, the same with the legislature, we have the judiciary as our bastion. This is our last refuge when we are all in trouble, that we can run to and expect some proper adjudication. And so when we taint it politically, you know, that is damaging the very essence of our democracy. So
we'll come to some of those.
Yeah.
I think some people have felt that one of the problems we have is that there's too much politics all year round, and they feel like the MPP has started too early. Yeah. I've discussed some of these things with you in the past, where you sort of agree that we shouldn't politicize everything. So how come you proposed an early flag bearer election for MPP and you supported all the ideas towards January in fact, I think you even said December 2025. That was your original proposal, right?
I think people misunderstood my proposal.
Okay.
And it's captured in writing. I don't know whether, I think I sent you a copy.
I'm sure I have it.
Yes, and I spoke at the National Council because we are in exceptional circumstances. We have a situation where our party is normally led by the chairman. And you've had the likes of BJ Darocha, Odoi Sykes, Peter Agyei. These were very strong characters. Unfortunately, we don't have a situation now, you know, especially when even the current chairman is not able to perform his duties, unfortunately. And so, therefore, there's a big vacuum. So I was of the view that, look, let's open up the Electoral College to cut out the monetization of the electoral processes and also to give power to those who've really sacrificed for this political tradition. All past officers of our party, from the polling stations, it used to be the wards, the electoral areas, to the constituencies, right through to the national. These are patriots of our party who have given their time, their energy, their sweat, equity to bring this party where we are today. And if we can open up and give them that voting right, that sense of belonging will be assured. that sense of participation will be assured. And the feeling that they have been ostracized. And one of the most painful things in this political tradition, as I've been going around, is the fact that people give their all, especially in those difficult days in the 1990s, you know, in the return to democracy. And today, I mean, you have people who've been regional chairmen multiple times, members of parliament, cabinet ministers who don't have a voting right. And I felt that was wrong. And so I said, look, let's open up. And if they had heeded my call, we'd have about 1.5, maybe 2 million in the Electoral College. And I think that is more representative of the party, you know. And I said that if that was achieved, then perhaps we should consider having the flag bearership contest first.
Okay, so it was conditional.
It was conditional. I mean, the letter is there.
Exactly.
But of course, I think it fell into some people's own plan. And so before I finished even delivering my statement in council, I mean, I heard it was all over the news. Kwabena Agyepong says early primaries, top down. I never used the word top down.
Oh,
no,
wow.
Never. I mean, it's there. And
so you gave a condition that
yes,
if the electoral college is expanded.
If you look at the results, the fact that if you compare 2020 to 2024, that over 2 million of our sympathizers did not turn up. The only good thing was that they didn't vote for the other side, okay? And I have a certain phone, an old phone from my time as press secretary. Everybody knows that number. It's a telecell number. And so I'm on a lot of platforms. And that particular phone, sometimes if I want to know what is going on, I wake up a bit early and I go through. It's quite clear that people felt a sense of being ostracized, you know, especially the older folk who had given their all, and that power had been just invested in the few delegates. There's no position such as a delegate in the Constitution. They are polling station executives, and they are supposed to be the frontline soldiers of our struggle, the ones who should do our advocacy at the local level. But because it's been overtaken by picking the biggest person or the parliamentarian, now people refer to themselves as delegates, and that is wrong. So they've lost focus of what they are supposed to be doing. And it's created a situation where people feel, okay, if we are not part of the decision, then when it comes to campaign, do it and let's see. In the